When you open your eyes, what is it you seek? What is it that gives you that drive for life? Is it the religion, dedicating your life to worship God and finding your worth in your creation? Is it the accomplishments that you have obtained for the duration of your life, the hours and hours that you have dedicated to creating a name for yourself? Is it the social change that you make in society, whether it be the support of an activism movement or research that you dedicate to change the world? What if meaning is what you make it to be? This is what experts of existentialism have suggested. For many years, scholars have debated the question of what is the purpose of my life? Why am I placed on this earth? And to what do I turn to in order to find my peace? This brings us to the introduction of the paradigm of existentialism. Cambridge Dictionary defines a paradigm as a model of something, or a very clear and typical example of something. Therefore, existentialists propose that meaning and purpose should be understood as subjective to an individual's experiences, thoughts, and opinions, which they utilize to create their own reality. For example, a simple idea such as a single written number can either be interpreted as a 6 or a 9. If the very idea of a symbol can be interpreted differently based on our experience, scholars argue that individuals should be able to create complex ideas such as their own truths based on their realities.
Life is full of choices. Every day we decide who we want to be. Existentialism teaches us that our lives and who we are is not predetermined, but is shaped by our actions and decisions. This way of thinking was introduced by Soren Kierkegaard, who emphasized individual experiences and personal choices, asserting that existence precedes essence, meaning we define ourselves through our actions. For me, existentialism means freedom and responsibility. It reminds me that I have the freedom to shape my destiny. I have the power to define who I am. I define the route that I want to take with my own life, the outcome of my choices, and responsibility. Existentialism does not provide easy answers. It challenges us to live authentically, embrace freedom, and create our own meaning in a different universe, the universe of the gods.
Philosophy is the solid foundation of education. It often explores avoided truths like what's the purpose of our presence in this world, and education answers that question with an invitation to a journey of transformation. In education, it shapes how we understand teaching, learning, and the role of school in society. It guides what we value, what we question, how we define success. The existential paradigm sees the learner not as a passive recipient, but as a unique being capable of reflection and choice and growth. It invites learners to ask, who am I? What do I value? What kind of life do I want to live? In this way, philosophy and education become intertwined, because to educate is not only to inform but to awaken. Existentialism encourages us to create classrooms where freedom, agency, and authenticity are not exceptions but the foundation. It means trusting learners to build their own understanding, to learn from choice and even from failure. Education then is no longer a one-way delivery, but a journey, a shared journey of meaning making.
Now let's ask ourselves this question. What if learning was more about a choice than learners being taught actual facts or content? Let's think about that. I'll give you more practical example of existentialism and how we apply it in a classroom. Student choosing a topic for a project. That's existentialism in action right there. Letting learners choose topic that reflects on their passion and their personal identity. Right, more practical example can be when learners write a poem about identity, or when teacher asks, what does this mean to you? Instead of me as a teacher asking, what is the answer? Right, to apply existentialism, we need to create space for freedom. We need to discuss authentic discussions. We need to encourage reflection journals and let learners ask those big questions in a classroom. Existentialism linked with constructivism because learners build knowledge through personal meaning and experiences, and they construct knowledge by themselves because the best classroom don't just teach facts but they grow thinkers.